Hey guys, so we talked about vectors in the previous video. Let's talk about matrices in this one. Um, so matrices, as we discussed, is another data structure in R. Um, so it's 2D. It's a two-dimensional array. Um, and an important thing about the elements of a matrix is that they have to be of the same mode. So you should have either all numerics or all characters or all logicals. Typically, you obviously would have numerical matrices, right? So R has a built-in function, matrix, that you can use to define a matrix. So let's look at an example. Well, let's look at first how to define a matrix. So this is you can always type in a question mark and the name of the function in R to get these details in R, but this is how the overall structure works for the matrix function in R, that you have the vector over here, the elements of the vector, the number of rows, the number of columns. By row is a logical value, it's either true or false. So by default, by row is false. So the matrix is filled by column, and the dimension name is a list that has the name of the rows and columns of the matrix. So let's look at an example. So this M1, for example, is a matrix that is being filled up by column, because we haven't specified by row. If you don't specify it, it's going to be false. So the matrix has 16 elements and 4 rows and 4 columns. These two should multiply to give you this. So let's go to R now and see. We have these matrices over here. So let's run this. So M1 is a matrix. Let's look at M1. So it is 1 to 16, 4 rows, 4 columns. Okay. And again, you can get the number, and you can see that the matrix has been filled by column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's look at M2. M2 is going to be filled up by row because we have specified that by row is equal to true over here. So let's run that. So now M2 is, you can see, filled up by row. Let's clear that. So now M1, let's go back to M1. We can get the elements of M1. So let's say you want so here's M1. So M1, let's say we only want the first row. So you would type 1. So the indexing is similar, but now it's 2D. So you can specify the row and the column in the bracket. So this is gonna be the row, and this is gonna be where you will enter the column. So if you don't enter the column, it's gonna print out the whole row. Right. Similarly, if you want to print out the third one, let's say, print out the whole third row. And similarly, you can also print out the column. So let's say the second column, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your second column printed out. If you want to print out a particular element, let's say the 3, 4th. So if you type in M1 3, 4, you'll get that element, which is 15. So yeah, and you can also enter like a vector. So let's say within the index, so let's say I want the first row and I want element number 2 and 4. So that's going to print out, let's say, so C combine function and 2, 4. So it's going to print out from the first row, second element, and the fourth element. So 5 and 13. So that's what we get over here. And let's see, you want to again print out 2 to 4 elements of the first row. You can use the colon. So that's how you would do indexing in R. And you can obviously define the elements yourself also. So let's clear this up. So this is just this is just a vector. We're calling it elements, and it has 4 elements. These are the row names and the column names. So this matrix, we have these elements, and the number of rows and columns are 2, and we're gonna fill it up by row, and the dimension name is gonna be the row names and the column names. So let's run that. Run. So now these are defined, and when we define the matrix M3, you can see that it's gonna have names of the rows and columns. So so yeah, again, you can use the indexing to get whatever element you have in this matrix also. So that was it for the introduction to matrices. In the next video we'll talk about arrays and data frames. Thank you for watching. Bye.